Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jojin Movie So Awesome. I'm Joe.
I'm One Jin.
Today we're going to talk about the second trailer that dropped for Dune Part 2 by Denis Villeneuve. And Villeneuve. We have spoilers for some books that I will elaborate, but I'll try to avoid main plot points. But here we go. The trailer showed more of what's going to happen in the cast.
Yeah.
And the Emperor makes his appearance, Christopher Walken. It honestly wasn't I was kind of shocked that he looked like Christopher Walken. Because I thought they might do a lot of makeups and stuff.
I mean, judging from what they've done with Stella and Skarsgård, it was...
Yeah, because there's this movie that hasn't been made by Sardaukar. He's another famous director who wanted to make a Dune movie but couldn't. And he had all these concept arts, and one of those things for the Emperor was this almost like 80s and 90s anime over-exaggerated person with his stuff. But here Christopher Walken plays a very serious role. I still love the costumes though. And
I love the cast. When I first heard that Christopher Walken was cast as the Emperor, I was very happy with it.
He's really good at playing this, quirky, otherworldly being, so to speak.
And also, he can be very terrifying.
Yeah, he's good at playing authoritative roles. And we get more detail from Feyd-Rautha. He was already in the first trailer. He's like the skinny, bald guy from the Harkonnen family.
Yeah, and he reminds me of that alien from the Prometheus and Covenant.
No, but that's not how all the Harkonnen look like.
All milky and everything.
Yeah, we get this dialogue from the Baron saying, "Show me who you are," during the gladiatorial fight. I think I already explained this in another video, but that's where the Harkonnens love this violence. So.
Yeah. And I've never read the novel, but from what I heard, he was supposed to be quite beautiful. So I kind of understand why Sting was chosen in the 1984 movie for the role. Yeah. But I don't exactly understand why they portray that character this way.
I guess it's more thematically aligned, because he will stick out if he's like this beautiful rose with a fucking trying to be beautiful but poisonous. In this concept, but he is a pretty boy. That actor is actually quite handsome. But I guess it because Harkonnen looking like that contrasts them well with the Atreides. So it's I think it's a thematic thing, and I don't mind the design actually. I love the black and white, because Villeneuve said in an interview that he will be adding more cinematic elements to Part 2. So I love the choice of the black and white thing. I'm very looking forward to on how he applies the white and black.
Yeah, and I'm always fascinated by the way he uses light and shadows. So I'm pretty sure that he's going to do an excellent job at using this what's it called, black and white theme in a very sophisticated way. Yeah, because
in the books there are more dialogue scenes after that gladiatorial fight that shows the scheming behind imperial scheming, because the Emperor has a lot of vassals that he uses to manipulate these houses, and there are a lot of central dialogues like that. So my question is after the first trailer was how much of the book will Denis Villeneuve bring to the movie, but after watching this trailer I can tell Denis Villeneuve is going to do a lot of action scenes that are not in the book, because for example there's the stare down in this trailer between Josh Brolin's character and Dave Bautista. That is not in the book, because let me tell you guys, in the book Raban, he dies like a piece of shit, NPC death, he died, okay, whatever. But here
it's one line, he died.
Yeah, he died fighting some sand people, quote unquote, and then he's no problem. Let's deal with the real stuff for the Emperor and whatever. But here, I think they're building up to Josh Brolin and Dave Bautista showdown.
And from what I heard and what I heard from you, not Dave Bautista, Josh Brolin's character has a grudge against the Harkonnen. So maybe this is going to be this climactic fight.
I think it's gonna be part of the last act, or it's in the middle of the second act to actually have a little climax before the final battle, because the final battle is coming.
And even if it's not in the book, I kind of understand because I mean they paid for Dave Bautista.
Yeah, yeah.
They gotta use Dave Bautista.
Yeah, and I think they might be addressing like the criticism for the first movie because, like, considering the scale, maybe they thought they could put in more action scenes. And this is like, think about it. This is a place where people fight with like blades, and there's a fucking sandworm that you can ride. And imagine that clashing with spaceships and stuff. It's like I think the action scene, like the final climatic battle, will be all Denis Villeneuve. Because even in the books, it's the pages are actually like leading up to the action is really long, but the action itself is actually very short. But here, I feel like if the movie is, let's say, 3 hour long, I feel like the last action scene will be at least like 20 minutes. Or 10 to 20 minutes of pure carnage, pure like innovative carnage.
I think he needs it because audience needs a payoff from investing all that time into the movie. I
mean, the movie did hint at a lot of like Chani, and she gets his like Power Ranger mask off and say, "Baby, I just killed this fucking piece of shit, Sardaukar," and then like they're beating up. But the epic battle is between the desert people and the Sardaukar though, like, and this trailer shows that is the final battle scene, because the Sardaukars, what happens in the books is like the Sardaukar like fails to like really contaminate. I mean not contaminate, but I'm so sorry, to like control the local populace, but they do rise up under like Muad'Dib Paul Atreides, and I can't wait to see that final scene because this trailer just hints at a lot of actions that I don't remember from the books. Like that missile launcher like shutting down the helicopter and stuff. Those are all movies and stuff, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, in the books like there are only two like real action scenes. One is the one we already saw in Dune Part 1 when the Harkonnen strikes the Atreides at night. And the other one is the final battle. The other ones are all like explained as almost side notes. Okay. Like there are action scenes, but it's more explained like far away from the event. And I don't think that's the novel's strong suit anyway, like explaining action.
So I think maybe adding a lot of these action sequences based on the director's imagination and vision could be I
think it's going to be huge plus because I think when Denis Villeneuve said he wanted to bring more cinematic elements, he was talking about that because there's only so much you can do to like, I think in novel form you can, but it's not as effective as watching in a theater where you see like spaceships exploding and people like en masse war, like so this is like a mixture of Braveheart and Braveheart on like LSD. So in the middle of the Braveheart there's like dragons coming out of nowhere because we got sandworms. That's already a huge hit, man. Like imagine if you ride a sandworm and you're not gonna use that against your enemies, like these monstrosities. Like come on, like if you think about it, like the movie already like the thing about this trailer is they already hinted at that. Like
in the first in Part 1 we already see one of those what were they, like the spice extractors? Yeah,
they get swallowed up.
They basically get that was a huge machinery, by the way. That thing just gets swallowed up.
Yeah. Like a full grown sandworm is huge. So but this trailer also shows a lot of like the violence of the duel between Feyd-Rautha and Paul too. Like we see blood and the blade. Because spoilers, that is the final scene though. That is like the final most integral part. Because basically the Emperor has to come down to Dune. And it just leads up to that. So this is like a mixture of like, I think a lot of Asian audience would appreciate too, because we love a duel. We also love war stories, like epic justice
like
stuff.
The Romance of Three Kingdoms. We see those duels all the time. In Korean we call it 일기토.
I mean we see it all the time in medieval romances too. Like, where are you, Arthur?
Let's settle this.
Let's
get you and me.
Yeah, these peasants fuck off. Untrained peasants that don't know swordplay, and you and I in this heavy armor. Yeah, so there's a lot of medieval feel to it. Plus a lot of bazookas and guns, because those like I do wonder like maybe I think in part 2 I do think because of the length, Denis Villeneuve is going to spend a lot of time explaining the lore that he didn't in part 1 though. Because remember, they didn't even explain why they don't use guns.
Yeah, but I don't know. Since he was so unkind in part 1, I'm thinking that maybe he will continue to be unkind in part 2.
Maybe. But this trailer also shows like the Princess Irua, like that's the daughter of the Emperor, by the way.
And Black Widow's sister. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
He's the same actress.
Kind of indicates that he may be thinking about a part 3, because a part 3 will be the next book, the second book, which is far shorter than the first book. So quantity wise, it makes sense to break down the first 2 books into 3 parts based on length.
Yeah,
because that does end like the initial Paul Atreides saga.
And remember, trilogy sounds a lot better than a duology. You look at Lord of the Rings.
It does. But like the thing
Matrix.
about like the Frank Herbert, the thing about Frank Herbert's Dune series is like it goes more ape shit the more the book goes on. Like the first book is the most traditional story out of all of them, and like the second book is like a happy add-on to that. Like here you go, here's a bonus round, and then afterward it goes ape shit crazy. So I do wonder.
I think it kind of goes basically to a different planet or different part of the cosmos, or I don't know.
No, like he's speaking figuratively, not literally. like the story just becomes more about like why are we here? What is tyranny versus what is all this? Is Muad'Dib true? It's like this philosophical dialectic shit. But anyway, but I do like him putting in more because movie elements though. I love Josh Brolin coming up like that because I felt like in the first movie he wasn't underused, but I think Jason Momoa just stole the show.
Yeah, that's true. Like, because he had that moment.
Yeah,
fighting against all those Emperor's guards.
Yeah, because in the book, like Josh Brolin and Paul's mother are basically the 2 councils that he respects the most. Because Josh Brolin, you know, from the first movie, which portrayed well, he's like a Atreides loyalist to the core. So he's more of the pragmatic general giving advice. And you have the mother. I forgot to tell you, in the trailer, she goes through the ritual with the grandma with her eyes turning, right? That's her joining the priesthood of the locals.
Yeah, and she's going through this ritual with a baby.
Yeah.
She's still pregnant. And, and this is going to be a huge...
I'm glad you mentioned that, because this trailer did not show the most important element, which is Paul's younger sister. And given that the Emperor and Princess and all of them have screen time, I'm sorry, I'm not really good with those names. I can't imagine her not making an appearance. So I feel like, despite this trailer showing us a little bit more, it's still not showing us very important things to the plot. Because let me tell you, Paul Atreides' sister is one of the most important characters in the first and second book. Even up to the third book, she's important. But like here, like we get no hints of her. She's not shown.
Maybe she's supposed to be like a surprise.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, part 3 maybe.
No. She's in the movie. Don't get me wrong. She's gonna be in the movie. I think they're just keeping it close to the chest because it's like one of those most shocking elements. And given that they're spending over $200 million in this movie, I think that's gonna be the best part of it.
Have we heard anything about the cast?
I don't think so. Not on the.
Do we know who's playing the sister?
No, because it has to be a child actor. But I haven't searched the news, so I'm not really fully informed on that. But like, it's a child actor because she's a child. So she's going to be a child who has centuries of memory. And that actor, whoever plays it, I think if she plays it well, that's like an Emmy thing. If she plays it well. Like
like an Oscar.
Like the kid from A Long Time in Hollywood, the child actor who played alongside Leonardo DiCaprio, preparing for the scene. Like it's a role that takes a lot. You have to be a kid that speaks very mature themes, and you have to act really weird too. Like you're looking at like Wonjin. I'm looking at Wonjin. I'm like, I know how you're gonna die. Like that kind of shit. Like it's gonna disturb the fuck out of you.
Alright, I'll say shut the fuck up and eat that ice cream.
No, you can't, because she's Paul's sister, Muad'Dib's sister. Who's gonna fuck with Muad'Dib's sister? Oh, and here, I like how they play up the Chani and Paul's romance. See, here's why I think there's going to be another movie, depending on the success of this, because that becomes even more important in the next book. Like Chani and Paul's romance. I mean, it is important in this novel too, but it's not as important as like the next book, where they're going to have kids, and that's going to have their romance and their love is going to have a huge consequences and an impact on Paul's decisions. So like this trailer, because you could argue that this trailer is like the Dune universe version of a Disney romance. Like, oh Chani, I love you in the desert. Like these things are like I'm like in the book it's important, but I'm like woo. Like their romance is almost center figure. Because Denis Villeneuve did say that Chani is like almost the main character in this movie. So that just means that like for me as a book reader, that just hints at like next book. Because that's where like that has a payoff. Like Paul's deep love for his concubine and the children they're gonna have is the one that impacts the Dune universe the most.
I see.
And here we already see like No Country for Old Men actor like playing I have faith in you, like cause see that's already like for me
what's the name? Javier Bardem.
Yeah, Javier Bardem saying
Javier
that
Bardem.
Like that's already like for me another hint at the next book, because he's gonna regret saying those words. Like yeah, those things already have consequences. I feel like this trailer is almost like because the first movie showed that Denis Villeneuve is not going to compromise his vision. So this one I almost feel like, he's almost like teasing the original Dune fans to say, hey guys, do you want book 3? Do you want book 3? If you want book 3, show me some love. Come to this movie. IMAX. Go twice. Make sure 600 million international. Better, more better, harder, stronger. So I can make a next movie. They're like, because if he does make the next movie, like it's, ask me again in 20 years, but it's really hard for me to imagine someone who will ever have a chance to make a Doom movie like this.
Yeah, I agree. And so far, we've only seen part 1, but it was very, very promising. And it's very difficult to accomplish what Denis Villeneuve has accomplished so far.
Is it Denis Villeneuve or Denis Villeneuve?
Denis Villeneuve? Villeneuve? I don't know.
Okay.
Villeneuve?
Yeah.
He manages to capture like the artistic part of cinema along with the entertainment element of the cinema, and also like the way he shoots is very artistic, and every scene, especially in movies like not only Dune but in what's it called, Blade Runner, and The Arrival. The Arrival.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Contact.
Yeah. In South Korea, it opened as Contact, but I think the original title is called The Arrival. I mean, he manages to get both of these, and I think very few directors are capable of doing both, along with commercial success. So he managed to pull that off with the first movie.
I'm a little bit worried on this one though, Wanjin, because like Indiana Jones flop, Flash flop, maybe the age of Blockbuster is gone, because I feel like there's a lot of weight going on in this one. Like I think Villeneuve, I'm so sorry. Like, Villeneuve. I think there's a lot of writing on this one. So we'll see though.
We'll have to see. I mean, I heard what's it called? The Elementals? That was like the first movie to flop from Pixar in Pixar's history.
What's an elemental?
Exactly my point. It's this new Pixar animation.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was the first flop in the box office.
Yeah.
So like you said, maybe the entire landscape of these blockbusters is changing.
I don't know, but I think Warner Bros. Is smart studio, because imagine this way: if Blockbuster is no longer the way, you still got to go there. But remember, these movies generate revenue even after release.
Yeah,
like after continuous airplay and stuff like that.
Streaming.
Yeah,
DVDs.
and despite whatever people might say, like getting an Academy Award and putting out an artistic movie is still important.
Yeah,
you know, because think about this way, Wanjin. I go to a bookstore. And I go to like the first shelf, right? Every one of them says Nobel Prize winner and like a sticker. You know, so like getting prize and getting this like high prestige is very important. And I feel like Warner Brothers, like since the first one, I mean, I guess it was a commercial okay success. They decided to go through it. Like, fuck it. Fuck yeah. Why not? Like, it's a very unique IP that they can run with. And that's why I'm really hoping for maybe a third and fourth movie. Like,
by the same director.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And I think, I mean, Mr. Denis I think he's putting it all because, like, you know, he wants to be remembered by this movie.
I mean, he already has brilliant work.
Yeah.
An amazing filmography.
Sicario.
Yeah, but this is going to be like...
his magnum opus.
Yeah, magnum opus. This is going to be like his career-defining work.
It's like how Nolan made movies after Batman, but everybody remembers him as the Batman trilogy Nolan.
Yeah, I mean, before that, he had a lot of great movies as well.
Yeah, but people...
like the Dark Knight guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you ask Nolan, like... I mean, people who love movies will know of Prestige and Memento and everything else, but... And what's that one with DiCaprio?
Inception?
Yeah. But he's... Let's be honest, he's the Dark Knight guy. Dun, 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 dun. But anyway, that's our take on the trailer. We're really, as you can tell, we're really excited about it.
And we're excited that we have a lot of good movies coming out. I mean, Indiana Jones, I still haven't seen it yet, but I mean, I don't care if it sucks.
You're still gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's still Indiana Jones.
Hey, this is not. Remember, this is Wonjin. He has a poster of Back to the Future on his So like, but for me, I'm a little bit more discerning. I don't like it that much already. Really? Yeah.
I'm very fond of these 80s movies.
I gotta be honest, I was disappointed at that Crystal Skull stuff.
Yeah, me too. But I don't really care because it's Indiana Jones.
Oh, man. Man.
I mean, the only thing unforgivable was Star Wars.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that was such a steaming pile of elephant shit that...
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's basically unforgivable. But Indiana Jones, the Crystal Skull thing, that wasn't so bad. So even with the last one, I'm not really expecting much. I just love the fact that Harrison Ford is back as Indiana Jones, and I think this is going to be his last movie.
No.
And also, we have Mission Impossible coming out soon. And we
hate
got
that franchise. I'm just kidding.
Well, Tom Cruise still, he never disappoints. He never makes shitty movies.
This might be a Korean thing, because Koreans love Tom Cruise.
Well, yeah.
Unconsciously, maybe.
But I think, as a Korean, I think it's very easy to please Koreans.
Okay.
It's just that little extraordinary attention. That's all Koreans need.
Oh my God, we went sideways. Let's talk about this later.
If Hollywood stars ever watch our little show here, let me give you an advice. If you want like perpetual love from Koreans, visit Korea as often as you can. With every movie opening, visit Korea, but do not visit Japan. That's all you have to do. Skip Japan and come straight to Korea. That's all you need.
I like to say this is Wonjin's personal opinion and not that of
this
Jojin.
Does not reflect
Jojin
the
movie so
opinion
awesome.
of Jojin movie so awesome. This is very personal.
I wasn't even listening, to be honest, when he said Japan, because I don't want to get into all that. That it was the personal, half truthful, half joking opinion of Wonjin. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Jojin movie so awesome. Hey, no, but all jokes aside, maybe we will have a time of podcast where we can talk about a lot of sensitive topics like that. But anyway, this is Jojin Movie So Awesome. I was Joe.
I was Wonjin.
We'll see you next week with a different movie or show. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Bye, bye, bye.
See you next week.